Scarf Chaptered in the Trunk. I'm Kay.
And I'm Kelly.
Lynn. I forgot that I don't go by Kay on the podcast. Anyways, we wrote a book, and we're going to tell you about it. It's called A Symphony of Flames and Liberty. This beautiful cover was drawn by Kelly. Kelly, do you want to tell us about that? That's amazing.
It took a really long time. It had a couple drafts.
I'll show you.
Yeah, just hold that up a little closer, Kaylin. There's a lot of symbolism in the cover, is what I like about it the most. A lot of detail. I went for a more simpler design because we don't want to give away all the deeds on the cover. That's be a little disappointing,
But
right?
where did your inspiration come from?
My inspiration for the cover came mostly from my best art style right now is more simple landscapes. So to provide my best for the book, I decided to do a landscape rather than a person because I'm still struggling with people.
Which was an idea. We scrapped that idea.
Said person looked terrible. So landscapes it was. And we decided to throw some symbolism in with a landscape because you can do that more with sort of a person. We're working on people, though.
And what are, like, some hidden details in it?
Well, that would give some things away. But there are at least...
Like, what are things that you can say?
The lotuses are part of the flower symbolism in the book. There's heavy flower symbolism in the book. So if you see a flower mentioned... you might want to look into its meaning. Might have some things for you there. Maybe some other symbolism.
Can you tell us what the lotus means? Can you say what the lotus means?
The blue
You
one?
can, yeah.
The blue one? So I can remember.
The blue 52. Lotus means it symbolizes change and accepting change is what it means.
And wisdom too. Blue comes the wisdom part.
Yeah, that's what the blue lotus means.
Yep. And there is, I believe this version has birds on it. Yep, there's birds on front of the sun. I don't remember if some of them got cut off or not.
Yeah, they did.
But yeah, the birds were supposed to symbolize the siblings in the book.
Which we're going to go to now because it's so much fun. So there's 6 siblings. It follows the story of 6 siblings, 3 girls and 3 boys. And 2 of them are in the military, like fighting the war for independence and, the Revolutionary War. And then the older sister lives in Philadelphia with her husband and son. So adorable. And then the 3 younger ones, 2 girls and the youngest boy, they still live at home.
In Boston.
And that's where our story picks up. It actually picks up like right the day the Revolutionary War starts. On April 19th, which is like known as like the heard around the world. And their house is raided that day. Nobody knows why. Their parents are arrested. The 2 girls are like, they escape. Their mom helps them escape out the back door, but they forget that their brother's playing in the field, obviously because it's like chaos.
Don't want to spill too much though.
I'm not going to. And they go to their brother's house and he's like, it's not safe. Their older brother lives in Boston, obviously. And he's like, it's not safe here. So they end up going to Philadelphia to live with their sister. And their sister's like, it's kind of a scandal to have 2 unmarried women of eligible age to be living in our house. So they need to be entered in society because it's like, that's something they didn't do in Boston because they were like not noble class. So they entered in society, and that's when everything kind of
starts off,
takes a turn. They're looking for husbands, but the inspiration for our characters came from our family. There's 6 kids in our family, so each character is like based off of a sibling.
Very loosely based,
as we have to remind our brother every single time. He's like, I don't act like that.
Brother number 2 is not very happy.
It's very loosely based. The idea of the characters, like hair color, some personality traits.
Yeah.
But other personality traits.
You have to leave some room for some character development. I mean, like...
Some of the siblings are closer to the siblings than others are.
Yeah.
But obviously we have to have room for character development. That's why you write a book. It's character development and plots and stories. But
the book is told in multiple point of views. So you do get a look into at least everybody's heads. Some more than others. But you do get a look in everybody's heads. And some people who aren't...
And we mean everybody.
And some people who aren't original siblings, you get to see in some people who aren't siblings.
That's true. That's also true. Who's your favorite character to write? I want to know. I think I know this, but like I feel like it changes every single time. You're like, it's Darcy, and then you're like, no, it's Odysseus.
I like writing Odysseus the most. I do like writing both the older boys the best, because I don't have to be fluffy in my writing with the
Fluffy?
boys.
What if it's fluffy means like not what you're using it as?
Well, I don't have to make it like...
You can make it like more like direct.
And I can be more direct. I don't have to put flowery language in. Like, I don't have to put like all this description about a dress. Like, I can be more direct. The boys are more blunt. The girls more have to go a little more roundabout with some of their language. Mm-hmm. Like, the boys are more blunt. They're not really in society, so they're in the military, so they also can be more blunt with the boys. Mm-hmm. They're also not in more, like, dramatic settings rather than action settings. So where the boys are in action settings, the girls are in, well, society, where you're dealing with cat fights. And the boys are dealing with gunshots. So I like writing the fighting part with actual gunshots, not the cat fights. Which
I used to not like writing. I used to be like, I just want to write romance and blah blah. And now I'm like I want to write this fight scene where there's like a lot of tension, but not like, obviously that's not in this book. Like, that's another book that I'm writing. But in this book, I really liked writing all the romance parts.
I know. I was so glad you did, because I was not for it. I had that one chapter that I wrote that had romance in it, and I was like,
like. The tension, the like longing looks. I keep mentioning this in every single podcast video we make, but I'm obsessed. So I make sure I put that in. I made sure I put that in this. I was like, across the ball, you are enchanted to meet that character. Yep. Mm-hmm.
I was enchanted to meet you.
No, literally, when I was writing that, there's a chapter in here that I had to write, and the entire chapter, I literally listened to Enchanted by Taylor Swift on repeat.
Oh, I had one of those too. I had one of those too.
I was like, nope, this is what we're writing. And then another chapter, I am a Swiftie, but this is not like a crazy, not like I'm not going to follow her down the street. But, like, I was listening to This Is Me Trying on another chapter, and like on repeat. You don't know what that song is, but I'm like, oh my God.
No, but I definitely did have that one chapter where I wrote a romance chapter. I definitely was listening to Enchanted to Meet You, like, by Taylor Swift on repeat the entire time.
Like, other characters I'll be writing, and I'm listening to, like, the Pirates of the Caribbean, and I'm like, it's like, and I'm like,
yeah, or you're listening to, like, epic battle music, or tension-building music, and you're like, I got the vibe down.
It's really all, for me, music is heavily influences my writing.
Yeah.
Like the headspace that I'm in. Like, if I'm writing like a really sweet, like, oh, it's gonna be something like, I don't even know, something, it might be like fairy tale, it might be some Taylor Swift song, it might be like just, but it also like depends, like if I'm writing like for anything, if they're like good and then like they break up, I'm definitely putting All Too Well 10-minute version on. I'm like, this is heart-wrenching, All Too Well 10-minute version, and then it's on repeat for like 2 hours. But it's only 10 minutes, so really I only listen to it for 20 times.
Yeah.
Kelly said, you are
no,
ill.
I literally just put in the hour version.
Well, or like, you're losing me. Like, there's a chapter in here where I listen to that song on repeat, which is a Taylor Swift song, and it is like, which is crazy because it doesn't even go with like the chapter that I was writing.
Mm.
I was like, this is just such a great song. It's my favorite Taylor Swift song ever. And then I just listened to that on repeat. Well, because with Apple Music, you can put it on repeat.
Oh, okay.
So then it just plays and plays and plays, and then you don't kill your phone battery.
Mm.
I think it's just there. But definitely with the boys, I listen to, like, there's, like, a Kendrick Lamar song that I'm, like, listening to.
No, I read the boys. I'm like
writing the boys.
I'm like epic fantasy battle music, and that's
So
what I'm
funny.
listening to when I'm writing the boys.
Or, like, Pirates of the Caribbean, like, Wilder. I write Wilder, and it was, like, Test Drive from, like, How to Train a Dragon.
Oh, I did that one too. If I'm writing Wilder, I'm like, How to Train Your Dragon music right now.
I'm like, and he's, like, running or something, and I'm like,
I know.
this is great. This is
It's
what I-
because you have to put yourself in the mind space.
Which I
What is
feel
he,
like I'm
12
really
in
good.
this book?
He's 12, and then he's 13 at the end.
Yeah, so you have to put yourself in the mind space of a 12-year-old boy.
Well, he turns 13 halfway through because his birthday's in June. So
yeah, but like in the beginning, like 'cause I write Wilder's first introduction
Yeah.
chapter. So like you have to put your headspace in. I'm a 12-year-old boy.
you're like,
What am I
12-year-old boy
thinking?
would do? What would they do?
Yeah, and you're like, I don't really
What
know.
would they say? I actually, which I want to talk about, which is, I've always like had this thing that like it's super hard to get into a character, but then I realized that it's not actually that hard to like get into their head, like their head. I'm like, okay, just be a jerk, or like, and then you get to write like whatever you want. If the character's a jerk, like there's a character in here, and I'm not gonna say his name. He's my absolute favorite character to write, and he just like has like all these like conflicting things going on that like the reader doesn't know about, and you're just like, I love this, let me just write. So then there's like hidden things in there, and I love writing that, and I'm just like, you have like issues, you like, it's like Darcy. I love writing Darcy because he's like so complicated, and I'm just like and like I know what's going on in his head.
Yeah.
Which is like cool because then like also like when we talk about it, like you, me, and Anna, when we're like all like having our meetings, talking about the character and what they're gonna do next, we're like always on the same page of like what headspace they're in. Most of the time.
Yeah, I can't really get in the headspace of the girls most of the time. Like, if
Um,
I'm assigned like a Charlotte or an Natalie, like I can get into Phoebe's. It'll take me a while.
well,
But I
Phoebe's
can-
based off of her.
I
so
can
Phoebe is
get
based off
into
of Kelly.
Phoebe's headspace, but Charlotte and Adelaide's, I'm like, ugh.
Well, that also might be like,
Takes me a bit.
it doesn't actually take me that hard. If I'm writing Adelaide, I'm listening to like some Bridgerton music or something, which is crazy because Bridgerton music is pop music and it's just string
yeah, I've
Bridgerton.
listened to it.
I'm like writing away. Charlotte is always a Taylor Swift song. Phoebe actually, when I was writing a lot of Phoebe's chapters, I was listening to like The Beauty and the Beast 2017 or like Cinderella 2015, and I was listening to that music, and I'm like, oh, this is like perfect for Phoebe. I love Phoebe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Phoebe.
She has some great lines. She has
That's
some great one-liners.
Not why I love her, but
Yeah, no, but like for some comedy. Like Phoebe's not really the comedy relief, but she has some great one-liners.
she's all right. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Charlotte's really there for some gags.
I do like writing Charlotte, not because Charlotte is based off of me, but because the story was originally with Charlotte. Like,
yeah.
before any of the other characters, like, okay, a little backstory. This story was, I got this idea. I first watched Outlander in 2022 on Netflix, and I was like, I want to write a historical fiction. Not with like time travel or anything. I just want to write a historical fiction. And I had this idea for these two characters. Their names were originally, I don't even know what the girl's name was, but the guy's name was going to be Cassian. That was before I actually read ACOTAR, and I was like, I really like this name Cassian. It wasn't even like a 1700s name, but I was like, you know what, he's gonna be cool, he's gonna be like different. And I had this idea, it was brewing, I kind of outlined it like a couple chapters. I had an idea of like where I wanted it to go. I was literally a junior in high school, and when I got this idea, and then I was like, didn't do anything with it. And then the following year, my senior year, like the following November, my senior year, Anna was like, you know what? I really want to write a book. And I was like, bro, me too. I have an idea. So I told her the idea. I was like, I have this idea that this girl, like, she lives in Boston and she has siblings who are based off of our siblings. And like, okay, low key, it was based, the character's me. Because, but I didn't want to say that. And I was like, and she like meets this guy and then she ends up in Philadelphia where her older sister lives, which is originally where Anna wanted to live as like a person in her life. And I was like, and then her brother comes and it's like he's ginger and he's like in the military and then I told her the idea and she's like, yeah, we can, like, I love that idea, like we should flesh that out a little bit more. So then we outlined like a bunch of chapters and stuff and started writing it because we were just too excited, so we just didn't outline the rest of it. And then we went to go pick her up and Anna was we were talking about like plots and like things to happen and how we needed to write it, and we were like, okay, like where we were going to go with this story. And no, we didn't pick her up from the airport yet. We were writing it, and then in December our grandmother passed away, and so we didn't write it for a little bit. And then when we were picking her up from Christmas, we were talking about it, and we were like, we got to get back to writing it. Like, we have to get back to writing it. Our grandmother loved historical fictions. She loved like Pride and Prejudice, like, so we were like, okay, let's just get back to writing it. So then we were talking about it, and then Kelly was like, wait, what are you guys talking about? She was like, why do you make it sound like that? I think everybody sounds like that. You were like reading something. She was like reading something in the back of the
I was
car.
reading Assassin's Blade.
Yeah, and she's like, what are you talking about? So she read the first 6 chapters, I think, and she was like, yep, I'm on board. I'm gonna help. So then we plotted, I think, the whole book in the 2-hour car ride from.
It wasn't 2 hours, because wasn't that the car ride you got us lost?
No, that was in June when you graduated.
Okay.
So no, so it was 2 hours. So, so we plotted in the 2 hours. It might have been a little under 2 hours, but it was 2 hours because we had stopped for lunch at Olive Garden.
Yeah.
So it was more than 2 hours. So we plotted like the whole book. We talked about it, and then not the whole book, most of it, because I remember sitting down at dinner and after dinner or something, and then we were like, okay, we're not going to tell our mom, we're not going to tell anybody, like, we're writing this book. Our mom knew.
She was like the 3 of you at the table, dining room table, with computers, talking to each other. You're writing something.
Yeah, she was. And she's like, and you were talking about character names and like plot ideas, like you were writing. She knew. You can't really keep secrets from our mom. She knows. She knows us too well. Anyways, so then we finished it in like 3 months in March, at the end of March, because you dragged your feet. They were getting mad at me because I had writer's block, and I was like, I have no inspiration. And then one Sunday, I, no joke, wrote 7 chapters, which is crazy. Who writes 7 chapters in one day? I did. I wrote 7 chapters, which was...
You want a pat on the back?
I would love a pat on the back. Okay, thank you. That was crazy. I literally wrote 7 chapters in one day, and I think back, I can't do that. I don't remember the last time I wrote 7 chapters in one day. I had so much inspiration that day. I don't even know what I watched. I think I probably watched Bridgerton. I went through a phase where I watched season 2, like, 3 times in a month. It was crazy. Okay. Anyways, so... Don't look at me like that.
Bro, I didn't even finish season 1.
No, but season 2 is the best season, okay? It's enemies to lovers. It's Anthony's season and Kate's season, and Kate has like a little sister, and it's so cute. I love it so much. Anyways, so we finished the book in March, and then that's when we like started all our beta readers and everything, and that was the whole process, and we appreciate our beta readers a lot. But it took a long time, and then it came out on December 16th because there was a lot of like other things that were going on, but on the business side of things
and school,
and
because all 3 of us are in college,
and we plotted in December when Anna came back for Christmas. We plotted book 2, which was super fun. I
need to finish that.
She's actually behind on her writing.
I need to finish that chapter.
I'm actually stuck where I can't write anymore until they write stuff because I was inspired.
I need to finish a chapter. It's gonna be a really long one though, because
but
I had no outline and I was like,
it's fine. I wanted to ask you, what was your favorite chapter to write in this chapter?
I don't remember what chapter it is, but it's a chapter that highlights Charlotte and Odysseus' relationship. The one where she comes to him and she's like, I'm in trouble.
Oh, that chapter. That was a really good chapter.
Where you got to see a bit of Odysseus' darker side.
Darker side? I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Protective, you mean?
Yeah, but it's more a little edgy. Which is why I liked writing it. Because I got to be a little edgy with it. And I was like, yes! I liked writing that chapter because I can make him really, protective and edgy and, dark and brooding. And I was like, I'm just going to channel, our brother right here. I'm just going to go in Alistair's headspace. And I'm just going to write. That chapter.
Do you type like that?
Yep, like this. And it just popped out. And I was like, yep, this is great. I'm super proud of this one.
I love when characters start writing themselves because then I'm like, yep, you just take the wheel. You drive.
Yeah.
I love driving, but I'm just going to let the character drive.
So, no, I definitely did like that chapter because I got to write something pretty similar to something I would write. No, something I would personally
dark
write.
And brooding and, really, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Wait, what if you were a horror story writer,
no,
like Stephen King?
They're too predictable.
Oh. So is Stephen King, but it's fine.
Maybe dark fantasy.
I actually only read one of Stephen King's books, and it was called The One. Wait, no, it wasn't. I don't know. It's about 4 boys, and I predicted the whole book.
Yeah, horror.
And it really wasn't that horror. It literally was not horror. I read it in high school for my English class, and I was like, this is, not horrific. I mean, it's tragic, but it wasn't I thought it was going to be, really scary and be, like the hair on your arm sticking up, but it really wasn't.
No, I'm maybe more of a dark fantasy or a, mystery. I've read the one play in high school that I really liked by Agatha Christie. It was a murder mystery. And then there was none. And the whole play was centered.
I was like, what are you talking about?
And it was the whole play, the whole plot was centered around a poem that they tell you in the beginning. And you're trying to guess whose death's gonna match up with which part of the poem. And then who's the killer. And I really liked that because I was like, she tells you how everybody's gonna die in the beginning.
That's impressive.
Through a little poem that they all just dismiss.
You gotta be a great poet. My name is Philip. I am a poet.
I was like, this is great.
Just to show it. Nah, just turn.
In high school, though, I was reading the part of the husband and the wife of the servant.
So you argued with yourself?
I did argue with myself in the middle of the classroom. It was great, yeah.
Really great, Kelly. I'm really happy for you.
I was like, man, I'm just feeling out this whole married couple argument.
I did not read any plays in high school.
That's rough.
In class. I read plays, by myself, but I didn't read them, in high school. I watched Hamilton, and everybody knows how I feel about that.
Yeah.
A little obsessed.
I would say a little more than obsessed.
No, because I don't have any merch, and I don't have, I've never actually been to go see it, so... I haven't gone to go see it yet. I would love to go see it. But I haven't, so I'm not, obsessed like that. But I do listen to it every day. At least one song. My favorite song right now is Take a Break. It usually is My Shot, but it's Take a Break. Did you know that My Shot is actually the most difficult song to learn on the album?
I have no clue what you're talking about, really.
I know.
Seen Hamilton.
But it's... I know. But it's really great. Anyways, back to our book. We got a little sidetracked. Squirrel. I was gonna.
What was your favorite chapter?
My favorite chapter to write. Oh, I have lots of favorite chapters.
Yeah, you're gonna need to dive in a little bit.
Okay, no, I actually do, because when I asked you that question, I had a thought, and I was like, you know what, my favorite absolute favorite chapter was the chapter when Charlotte drops her glove. I had so much fun writing that chapter. I was like, you know what, she's gonna drop her glove, because I think in every book, historical book, they need a drop the glove moment. And I just think that chapter was just so perfect.
Yeah.
I love, okay, not because I wrote it, but because I just love that moment.
Kane was like, tale as old as time.
No, literally, I was like, oh, I wish I could drop a glove and, somebody pick it up for me. No, it's just
Kane was like, can I just like jump back a couple hundred years?
I need to mention, there's Pierre. I want to mention Pierre.
Oh.
Pierre.
I had one chapter.
Like,
I had one chapter with Pierre that I absolutely loved writing, and it was with Adelaide's kid and Pierre, and they had that conversation with Uncle Pie about a snake, and it was just like a little tangent chapter, and it low-key was a bit like not very important, but like it was very important for their character development because it was so adorable, and I just loved writing it because it was so fulfilling and wholesome.
I love Pierre. Pierre's like an older brother that they didn't have, because their older brothers are they're great. That's what I'm gonna say about that. Yep, I just needed to mention Pierre.
He's more like he's an uncle for Adelaide's kid too. Uncle Pie, which is a really funny.
Did you say? Did you come up with that?
Yeah.
Because I'm like mathematical. What is pi?
3.14156.
I actually don't know what pi is. It's terrible. Ugh, that's terrible.
No, Uncle Pie I took from the first couple letters of Pierre's spelling of his name.
Okay, we're back. My storage got full, but it's okay because we're back.
Where were we?
We're talking about Pierre.
And the chapter with the snake.
Yep, the chapter with the snake.
It was a very wholesome chapter. Very much necessary. Did it add to the plot much? Not really.
Yes, it did actually. Character development.
But that's about it.
No, but it's really cute.
But it was a really cute interaction between Adelaide's kid and Pierre, and you get the lovely nickname of Uncle Pie, which comes from the first couple letters of Pierre's spelling.
I love Pierre.
And it was not because it was math. Okay.
Okay, well, that's fine.
I did think that they call him Pie is funny, though.
Uncle Pie! Well, yeah.
He's a fun character. If you have a thought that you want to say...
I don't know why I'm petting the book like that.
I don't know, you're weird. Like, if you have a thought, and if Pierre's around, and you have a thought that you're like, oh...
Unhinged?
Like an unhinged thought. You can just like, oh, Pierre can say it.
Pierre will just say it. Pierre will just say it.
He'll say it, mic drop. He'll just drop.
And then it'll just be like, characters will be like...
Yeah.
Like when somebody says something unhinged, I'm always like...
Yeah. Pierre's that character.
Pierre's that character that's going to make you be like...
No, like, he did not just say that.
Oh, crazy. I love Pierre, though.
He is fun. I did enjoy the wholesome chapters with Pierre.
The wholesome chapters!
Look, I don't enjoy writing wholesome chapters very much, but that chapter...
It's okay. You know what?
With the kids and Pierre at the dinner party. At Eleanor's. I was like, this is great.
Yeah, I remember what chapter that was.
No, you don't.
No, I don't. It's fine. There's a lot of words in this book. Okay. I'm just kidding. Sometimes I'll be like, I have terrible imposter syndrome. Like, it's bad. I'll be like, I didn't write a book.
She's like, just kidding.
And then I'm like, I want to be an author. And then my mom's like, you are.
Just kidding.
I'm like, but not really.
Yeah. I don't think about it. I'm like, I'm not going to think about this.
And then people are like, it's just, like, yeah, I wrote a book. Yep. with my sisters. Moving on.
Yeah, that's literally how it is. Like, I was walking at a beach the other day, and I was wearing my sweatshirt. Right, this is The Secrets of Society, 1775, and this random dude goes, "What does that say?" And I'm like, "Oh, somebody's talking to me."
Someone's talking to me in public. How dare they?
Yeah, I was like, is it like serious? And he was like, "Oh, I thought it said something else," and he just turned away, and I was like, "Okay."
No, it said SOS. Is actually what it said.
Yeah, it said "Save our souls."
Oh, crazy. I wonder what he thought it said, though. You
Yeah.
should have been like, oh, what did you think it said?
Bro, he was some like,
Just kidding. He was probably really nice.
yeah, but like, antisocial.
Was it the worker?
No, it was some
Oh.
random guy in the parking lot loading groceries into his car who parked in front of me.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's like that random guy. Barrick and I were... Wait, no, it was you and I think it was, and I was like, does my tire look flat? And that guy goes...
That was me.
And that guy goes, yeah, duh, definitely is.
I was like, oh, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Very nice. It was very nice that he said that.
It was a little bit awkward.
People don't usually talk to me in public.
Yeah, me neither.
That makes us sound so homeschooled.
We were homeschooled.
So antisocial. Don't talk to me in public. Who raised you? I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Speaking of raised you, their mother's interesting to write in the book.
I love her mother. She's iconic.
She is iconic. She's interesting.
Why
to
do you
put
like
in.
writing her?
I don't write her much, actually. I find her a bit difficult to write. But, like, simply because, like, we finished the book and then we're like, oh, we forgot about her.
Oh, it's because you think we forgot about her.
No, because we had to go back and,
We
like,
did.
insert her into some chapters. And I was like, oh, what?
Yeah. Wait, I have to ask you this because I
No, but she has an interesting story, is what I mean.
You just interrupted.
My apologies.
I just did it to the camera. Do you ever, like, pretend you're fourth wall breaking? Or is that just me? Like, I'll be having a conversation with somebody and I'll just, like, look off to the side and I'm like, that's crazy.
that's just you.
That's just me. I fourth wall break.
Yeah. You're like Deadpool.
I, like, just fourth wall break and I just did it to the camera. I was like, we forgot about her. And you were still talking. It's like, no, but I do it all the time.
Yeah.
Dad was literally saying something to me the other day and he's just talking and I was like, that's crazy. Like, I just looked off to the side and said, that's crazy. There goes the snow off in my car. We got 9 inches of snow. But, or like, I'll be sitting in my room typing, like, you know, yapping away on my computer. And then I'll just think of something and I'll be like, oh, that's wild. And I just, like, look off to, like, I think I'm going crazy.
Yeah, maybe.
I've been home alone too much.
No, I definitely find Elsie, and Elsie is a bit difficult to write, which is why I think she is a bit fun.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's a bit difficult to write. Because there was one chapter, I think it's in book 2, though, but I was like, yeah, how on earth am I going to start this?
I actually didn't have a problem. In book 2, when I started writing her, I was like, this
Well,
is great.
no,
I know exactly how
because
to talk.
in book 2, it was actually a chapter I wrote with you guys around. It was like, this chapter is going to be in Elsie's point of view. And then I read the outline, and I was like,
No, it's not.
no, it's not. This is literally not in Elsie's point of view at all.
You said, actually, it's going to
Actually,
be not.
It's not in her point of view. She's just going to be in the chapter.
She's just going to be there. I think I did that in a chapter. I had to split, I'm not going to say in book 2, but I had to split a chapter because there was, like, a character had to do something, like, she had, and I'm going to say it's a she had to, like, do something in the same chapter, and then something else was supposed to happen in the same chapter, but the timeline was just too crazy, so that wouldn't even work. So I'm like, I'm just going to split it in 2 and then move this chapter to here.
Moving chapters is definitely something we did a lot.
Because I was like, this just does not make sense, or would happen.
You know, we had definitely had to do some sequencing.
So I had to change that.
and reshuffling of
I had
chapters
to make
in this
executive
one.
decisions.
Actually,
Yeah, I did.
especially in the earlier chapters, with like planning out Wilder and his introduction.
Did you say cleaning out Wilder?
planning out?
Oh, I thought you said.
No, I'm gonna clean him out of the story.
It's like cleaning out Wilder. That's very cute.
No, we had to do some shuffling in the first couple chapters.
Should we talk about Wilder's horse?
Voyager?
Yeah.
What about his horse?
Just his horse. Like, where did you get his inspiration from?
I didn't make his horse. Anna made his horse.
Oh.
I
Good for you, Anna.
I gave Odysseus a horse.
Oh, and I gave the other character
You
a horse.
the other character a horse, and I gave Darcy a horse.
Oh, by the way, everything is named.
And
everything is named.
And then we were talking about it, and B was like, "Why doesn't
That's so epic.
Because it's so epic. Why doesn't my character get a horse?"
So we gave him.
So Anna was like, "I'll give you a horse."
No, but I think our horses' names are. I'm not gonna say like whose characters they belong to.
Yeah.
But there's Teardrop, Jude, and Apricot,
Voyager.
and Voyager.
They're
our
a bit
horses'
iconic.
names. They're like, you'll be like Teardrop, Jude, Voyager. That's epic. Apricot. That's like my name is Decimus Maximus Meridius. My name is Jeff.
It's even better because we literally went through in our outline. We was like, "This is what the horse looks like," and we found a picture from the internet. And like the whole,
Well, I have to.
The horse is a biography. Like the horse is this age.
It's
the horse
2.5 years old.
The horse is this
3.5
gender.
years-
The horse was
Male.
born at this point. Like this is his color.
It might have a birthday.
It might even have a birthday. Yeah.
And we did the math, so we'll be like 1776, 1775 minus 5. Obviously, that's easy math.
Yeah.
but like,
The horses all have biographies.
it's so much fun. Biographies actually are not that fun for me to do, but
Tangent.
it's just like it's one of those things you have to do.
I love making the biographies of
And
any
then I'm
character I make. Like if I'm going to make a character, I was like, oh yes, I'm making a character. I can make a bio.
I've actually learned to have I've learned to enjoy it a little bit more, but usually I'm like, these characters can't have the same character traits, and I'm like, actually, yeah, they can. No, they can't. Yes, they can. No, yeah. Oh, they're the same character. So I have to. But then I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna write a chapter with them in it, and then I'm just gonna determine what their how they speak is what their character traits are gonna be. Like if they're blunt, they're gonna be like, I don't even know. They're gonna be like that. They're gonna be soft spoken or I don't know, a little hesitant or I don't know. That's not a character trait. But that is our book. This is stiff because I got it out of our box.
And my copy is currently with a friend.
But you can get it on our website. You can get it signed. You can order it signed.
Our website is called A.C.K. McClure Publishing.
Yes.
By the way.
.com. If you have any questions, feel free to comment, like, and subscribe.
And share with your friends.
We love this book so much.
Yeah.
Do you actually? I'm just kidding.
I'm flabbergasted. You just stabbed me in the heart.
Well, we were just talking about characters who say unhinged things, and they're like, oh!
Just stabbed me in the heart.
That wasn't really unhinged, but... Okay. We're going to end the video here. Come back next Sunday for another... No, next Monday, not Sunday. Today's Sunday. We're going to go eat dinner.
Stuff our fires.
I'm eating my hair for dinner, actually. Okay, bye!